All right, folks, I want to introduce you, Ms. Carrie Cochran. Carrie Cochran, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing really well. Thank you so much. There's so much I want to ask about you, how you tick, where you come from. But I've been reading your background. You know, you're a freelance editor, copywriter. Forgive me if I mess up the titles, but you're pretty well versed.
Yeah, I do a lot.
You do a lot, absolutely. And what's really cool, you work in the travel Christian industries, and that's pretty neat. I can't wait to learn more about that. You're a blogger. You have a YouTube channel, and oh my goodness, you have short stories. You have a history of working with different editors and whatnot. And I'm going to let you talk here in just a little bit, but the list goes on and on, folks. Okay, but I found you quite a while ago, and then I don't know. Let me ask you a question. Did you have a YouTube channel by another name at one point?
Yes, I recently rebranded. I was under the Mandala Traveler.
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. I thought mandalas were really cool when I started my channel.
Right.
And I was originally going to do Carried Away because, pun on Carrie. And I
I like
recently
that.
rebranded. So I like it a lot better.
There you go. That's an awesome name and everything. Because what happened was, let me tell you what happened. Because I was subscribed to you a long time ago when I
Oh,
saw other stuff. But you come around on my feed because I love travel, and all of a
mhm.
sudden, this is about what 2 months ago, you popped up. You were doing you had some affiliate. You had some items you were selling,
Mhm.
or you went, hey, I'm selling this. You're saying, hey, check these items about
Yeah.
travel items and all that. And I said, she looks familiar. Well, come to find out, I was subscribed to you, but I didn't hit that notification bell. So
Oh,
if you don't hit the notification bell on something, you're not going to get notified.
yep.
And the name and what it just never did click until I saw your picture. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that the lady from? Oh my goodness, I stay confused. It don't take much to confuse me. But I am so glad. It was a Sunday afternoon. I got back home from church, and it was Sunday afternoon. And I was relaxing, and then your video popped up. So I hit play,
Aw.
and I was like, man, you got it going on. You know your stuff. Now,
Oh.
a little background for you. Where are you from?
I'm currently from Virginia. So we're in like the Hampton Roads area, right by the beach.
Oh,
So I've been out this way for like 13 years now. So this
13
is
years.
home. Yeah.
This There you go. Right? No place like home. No place like home.
Yeah.
That's right. I've been watching your videos. You've been everywhere. Now, so I'm from Florida originally, and I'm down here in the north central Florida, but
Mhm.
I'm close to Tampa, Orlando. I'm an hour and 45 minutes from each direction. Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa. You go either way. I'm there an hour 45 minutes, 2 hours tops,
Mhm.
which is pretty neat. And I saw you spent some time in Tampa.
Yep. We loved
You
it.
and your husband.
Yeah, we went for a family vacation 3 years ago. But we hit a few different parts of Florida. I have family down there and it's warm. Lot to
Right.
do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Lots to do. Now, how's the weather up there in Virginia, by the way?
We're supposed to get snow tonight.
Ooh,
We'll see if it sticks. That's rare for this part though. Like we had 60s and 70s last week, I'm pretty sure, but we have a cold front coming through right now. It's freezing. But so we might get some snow.
I guess. Oh, there you go. I got a friend of mine. He's in Louisiana. He's a fellow YouTuber. His name's Eric B. Traveling with Eric B. Fun guy to travel with. Uh, and it's snowing in southern Louisiana of all
Oh
places.
wow.
Yeah. So and they're saying that Florida is going to get some snow as well.
Oh,
So yeah, so I'm like, oh no. I mean, I like the snow, and but I like to come right back home. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being in the snow, but I like the beach. I like being in the sun and fun. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But a little bit about your background. You grew up and everything. When did you start? What did you like first? What did you get into first? Writing or videography?
Definitely writing. I have wanted to be a writer since I was 6 years old. Over Christmas, my parents dug out some of my short stories. They are terrible,
Oh
but
boy.
I was handwriting stuff. We had a word compressor, which
Oh
was one
yes.
step up from a typewriter, and
Right. I remember
I would
those.
I would type little things out on there. So that's been almost a lifelong passion for me. I always knew that I wanted to write in some form when I grew up.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I've been reading your blogs, and you've been spot on. And what's cool, your videos, you have your video, and then you have a blog to go with it.
Mhm.
I mean
Yeah.
that's pretty nifty.
Well, thank
My
you.
my wife and I we were watching a video about the luau, and then you said, oh, they're in different places throughout the country, where you were at, and then Florida and all. I'm like, Daytona, that's an hour and a half away from me, not even that. So my wife's like, I want to go to that after watching your video, and
Aw.
they're like, well, by the way, my wife said hi. I told her, I said, hey, guess what I got an interview with, and she goes, well,
Aw.
tell her I said hi. So my wife says hi. Her name's Colleen.
Thank you. Tell her hi back. Hi, Colleen.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be seeing this,
Yeah.
but I will certainly tell her. But that was neat. Now, when did you start your YouTube channel?
I think I started it back during COVID. And it,
The good C word. Oh,
yeah, yeah. It wasn't great. I don't know. That's probably about, um, well, yeah, it was mostly like PowerPoint slides, pretty much, because I was into photography, but I was not comfortable being in front of the camera. So a lot of my early videos are like 1.5 to 2 minutes long, and it's just pictures I took.
and
So we've come a long ways.
and even that though, I mean, you have a talent behind you. Some people don't realize their talents, but I believe you have a talent behind you that's you're gonna blossom, and then 20 years from now I'm gonna say, hey Carrie, remember me? Can I you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
and
thank you.
you're blossoming already, and now you mentioned when you were 6 years old you're writing and all that stuff, and of course you go through grammar school and all that stuff. Now, did you take any of course you got to take English for high school to get out of high school, English 101 and whatnot. Um, when did your passion pick up for writing? Was it during that time, before, or from 6 years old on, or I guess when did it really hit?
Yeah. So there were two really key points for me. One was, and they both had to do with fine arts for my school. We had a fine arts competition every year. This was back when I was in Missouri. And so we had all these Midwestern schools come together. Atlas. Sorry. Edit point.
Atlas is fine. We love Atlas.
Okay. We had all these Midwestern schools come together, and they'd compete in academic stuff, drama, music, all these things. And in 6th grade, I entered creative writing, and I wrote a paper on training for the Olympics. Like, I had to go in this room and I wrote this paper in like an hour, and I got 2nd place. And I was like, oh, that's fun. Like, okay. Because I was competing against dozens of other schools, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm good at this. And then my junior year, I think I entered every year, but my junior year did it again, and my paper got 1st place, or my essay. And that is when I really felt like, wow, maybe this is something I could actually, and I couldn't believe it. They called my name, and I was like looking around, because it was
Is it
like,
me? Is it me?
yeah, it was like something I enjoyed, but there was that validation behind it finally, like, oh, maybe I'm good enough to actually do something with this. And so from that point on, I was always hoping that that's the way I could take my career. And it did take a little bit of time, but that is eventually where I ended up. So
That is wonderful. That was wonderful. So when it got time to applying for colleges, you already knew where you wanted to go. I mean, where you want to go, or what you want to study, your degree of study, or how did that work?
So long story short, we ended up moving. My dad lost his job. We ended up moving my senior year, and we couldn't afford the college I wanted to go to. So I ended up getting a 2-year degree in church secretarial.
Okay.
from a tiny school in North Carolina. And then I took that degree and I worked for several years and I saved up as much money as I could. And then I sent myself back to college at PCC to get my professional writing degree. So had to push it back a few years, but I went back to college at 23, graduated at 25, and the rest is history.
Wow. Wow. That is awesome. Now you're married, and your husband, does he like taking pictures or video work as well?
He is usually my videographer. I had to take photography classes in college, so I am much more comfortable behind like an actual camera. But he's gone through the work to get his drone license for me, and he really enjoys that. So he does the drone video, and he is usually, I guess we probably split about 50-50 who's taking other videos, so we can get multiple sides of things. But yeah, he's really great at helping me out with that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she's not a camera person, so you rarely see her in any of my videos. You see my son more than anybody, and my daughter's the same way as my wife. I have a daughter as well. I have two teenagers at the house, so pray for me. So it's but and I love every second of it. But yes, it's usually either I'm doing it all with the camera. I'm like, honey, can you hold this for me? Whatever. But she'll pop in there once in a while. But not like I'm up there. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. Where did you meet your husband?
PCC.
At PCC. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm very familiar with PCC. I mentioned to you before we started, with college and career and everything. I have some prior students that went to PCC and whatnot, and one of my students, whom I call friend, asked me to marry them, her and her fiance. That's been 5 years ago already, and I was completely humbled. I said, wait a minute, what about the pastor? I want to step on his toes now. And they're like, we already talked to him. I was like, oh boy. Oh, okay. All right. So that's pretty neat. So when I found out about the PCC, I was like, man, that's it's right there. But you've done hundreds of blogs. You did hundreds of articles. I mean, probably in the thousands. But what can you say is your favorite blog of all time?
Oh goodness!
Now I know that's a hard question. Let me make it easier for you. If you could pick, or would this be easier? I don't know. If you could pick 3 of your favorite blogs of all time, even if you're 8 years old, 20 years old, whatever old, okay, what would those 3 be?
Probably one of the very first blogs I wrote, based off our honeymoon in Paris. I did different day guides for like a week in Paris, and the day we visited like the Arc de Triomphe and the Eiffel Tower, just because that had been on my bucket list for so long. I was so excited to write about that day. And I think that was like my 3rd or 4th blog post ever. So probably that one.
Wow.
I really like the Colorado itinerary I did, partially just because so many people seem to enjoy that. And obviously it's validating to have people be like, wow, this was helpful. I really liked that. But also Colorado is so beautiful. So I was so excited writing out that itinerary for that.
Wonderful job, by the way. I read that one.
Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And probably maybe my No. My day on San Cristobal Island in the Galapagos. I had so much fun with that. Just because we got to do so many different things. We got to see so much wildlife. That was a fun one to write.
That's when you went snorkeling. You went snorkeling with all the Galapino, or what do you call it?
With sea turtles and with Galapagos sea lions as well. So we got twice. Yeah.
Wow, I know in your video, I heard you in the back go, wow, do you see that or something? You said, oh, there's a fin.
I was doing that the whole trip. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I love snorkeling. I love to snorkel. I love being in the water. I love the ocean. I love lakes and rivers too. And but that was a fun video to watch. I watched a lot of your videos. I usually I have it on I'm in my office right now, but the big screen, that's a big screen too. But I got a bigger screen in my living room, and I like watching videos there. And then I usually comment, usually on my laptop or whatnot. But I got some videos I watched yours I haven't commented yet, so they're coming. They're coming. But that video was pretty neat. All your videos are. But I mean, my goodness, I wish more people knew of your channel, because obviously I'm impressed, and I think if more and more people will see your channel, then they'll see your blogs, and they put two together. It's like, wow, that's a lot of talent there, and that's one of the reasons. I mean, I'm not a big channel myself, but I want to tell my supporters and my subscribers, my friends, about you, to get the word out, because I think your work is just phenomenal, including the Iceland. I watched all your Iceland videos and everything.
Oh.
Now, what made you want to go to Iceland?
Pictures I'd seen, one, Northern Lights, and two, just the rugged landscape. It looked just so surreal. And once I started getting them on my social feeds, it was just one after another. And I was like, Daniel, we have to go.
Got to do it. And I saw your how to look at the Northern Lights and all that stuff. I read that all the way through. That, man, you're on it.
Thank you.
I never seen them. I mean, what was it like to see them in person?
Honestly, by the time we saw them, I will admit I was exhausted. I think it was 1 or 2 a.m. I was like, good, finally.
You're ready to go to bed.
I was ready. I had been sleeping on the bus, and Daniel came and got me, if I'm being entirely honest. But it was really incredible. Once I perked up a little bit, that negative degree Fahrenheit air hit my face. It was really, really cool. Just because it was so different, and to be like, wow, like the sky can have these colors and I'm seeing it. And this is something I've wanted to do for years. So what we saw was nothing like I know a lot of people got to see earlier this summer, like from their back porch, but it was still incredible. And it is one of those things where it's just like, wow, it's crazy that can happen. And like, as a Christian, just be like, I love that God put another way to have like a rainbow in the sky and like this cool phenomenon. And it was really fun and very beautiful. So
that's awesome. That is awesome. I like to go there one of these days. I go to Germany a lot, for my channel. I have 2 channels that I'm on all the time. My German channel, I love to travel to Germany and all that stuff. I'm a proud American, but I spent a total of 6 years of my life in Germany. I was there as a kid because my dad was there in the Army. And then later on, I went in the Army myself. And then it took me 19 years to get back. My wife and I went back. Well, married. We were married. I was there as a single soldier, but we got married in 07, 08. I was like, honey, I need to get to Germany. I really got to do Germany. You want to go? And she's like, yeah, I've never been to Germany either. I was like, oh, let's do it. Well, long story short, my friend, he for years, he's one of those types. Yeah, one of these days. Never yay, never. Yeah, one of these days. For years, I've been wanting to go back to Germany a long time. And then finally I says, hey, my wife and I were going. I'm tired of asking you. We're going. I'm not going to ask you again. He goes, if you promise not to ever ask me again, I'll go with you. I said, I promise. Well, he went. And since then, I've been back 29 times. I was in 2008 to Germany, and I'm pretty much, I got another one planned in the near future, and so it's going to be really fun to do that again. But anyways, long story short, I want to go to Iceland because you get cheaper flights if you have a layover there. This past June, my son and I take groups over there to Germany too, but my son and I went, and we had a 21-hour layover in Dublin. I'd never been to Ireland before. I said, well, that's 21 hours, and let's do, we'll do the man stuff. We'll spend the night at the airport. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And so we spent, hours just walking around Dublin and everything and whatnot. And oh man, I'm getting too old to sleep on benches, but would I do it again? Absolutely. Cause that was fun. So, but now, especially seeing your videos, I was like, my goodness, I need a 2-day layover. I want to spend some time there. And my wife saw those videos too. She goes, how about we just go to Iceland, spend a couple of days, and then go? I'm like, bless you. That's a great one. So one of these days, I'm going to hit Iceland, and your videos made me think that way. I mean, I've heard of Iceland. You go, whatever. I've been through Iceland once on a military aircraft because I was prior Army, and I was just there on the Air Force base, and that's it. And then back, but I was Army, but flew on Air Force airplane, but never thought about going to Iceland. But I went to the what do you call them? Gorges? That gorge has the gorge.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it. It was beautiful.
In the Thingvellir Park.
Yes. That was it. How did you find that?
So we actually went with a guided tour. That is, I believe, the only national park in Iceland too. So that's very popular. But that was on their itinerary for the day. So they took us there. But I believe that is one that had popped up for me before anyways that I wanted to do because it's the continental divide. So either side of that is like a continental plate, and the water there is actually supposed to be really good for snorkeling. I was not going to do that in April because it was snowy.
Right.
But it's supposed to be some of the clearest water in the world. So
can you say Burr Rabbit?
Well, no.
That would be cold.
Yeah, I don't like being cold. So that was an adventure for me all around. But yeah.
So do you like to swim?
I am not a great swimmer, but I do love to snorkel and I love water activities.
Me too.
But you're not going to find me usually just kind of bobbing out in the ocean for fun.
I know. Just here I am.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. But and my wife's the same way. She can take or leave it, but anyways, I like being out there, and I like here. I love snorkeling, like swimming with the manatees. I love taking folks out to. So if you and your husband ever want to come swim with the manatees, you're welcome to come down. I'll show you around.
I literally just said that to my husband yesterday at a video. And I said, Daniel, I want to go swim with the manatees. So I'll have to send you a message and get on one of your trips. Well,
you have my invitation. So that would be really cool. And the best time to do it is between November and really I say end of February. Okay. That's the best time, because what they do, they come in at in the warm waters, the spring water, which is 72 degree year round. So they're going there to get warm. So you go in a place like Homosassa or Crystal River, and it looks like stepping stones out there. They're all huddled up, getting warm, and then you see a bunch. You see them throughout the year, but not like you would when it's cold. Because when it's cold, like I said, there's a bunch of them. They're like stepping stones, I call them. But not to imply step on them, but they're stepping stones. And there's rules you got to go by to state law and all that stuff. You could touch them and everything, but if they go away, you can't chase them. Like you can't go, oh, where are you going, little manatee? So. But if you get some that they don't want to be bothered. They're just, I'm a mean manatee, leave me alone. I'm grumpy. And then you get the ones that are playful. They'll come between your knees and whatnot. They'll come up. Hi, I'm a manatee. Do you want to play? So you can tell. And the babies, oh my goodness, the babies will come. They'll come nudge you, and they'll get right in front of your face and look at you. Oh, it's wonderful. It is wonderful. But that swim the manatees is awesome. It's been a while since I've taken a group out there, but I'm itching now. I'm itching to do it now. So I'm going to go back and forth on your videos, but I want to talk more about your freelancing.
Okay.
So what exactly on your freelancing? What do you offer? And I noticed on your webpage you have home, contact me, professional editing. What was the other one? Services. So
Yeah.
what kind of freelance services do you offer?
So these days, most of what I do would be generally under content creation, written and video. I do still do editing from time to time, mostly with clients I've had for years. But the biggest thing I do is my copywriting, which is basically like marketing copy. So emails, blogs, website copy. With an emphasis on travel. So people will hire me to write brochures and travel guides or their new website copy, that kind of thing, which I love because it gives me a chance to learn about cool new companies or different locations. And a lot of times I'm like, oh, well, this is really cool. I want to go visit there. So I do a lot of that. And then I also do a lot just with different brands for like creating videos showing like how I use their products, or not even necessarily me. Sometimes it's just the product and then they can use that for their marketing later. So trying to kind of combine all of my passions into one there.
Wow, how awesome! Now explain to me, because I don't know, and to everybody here, what is the world's largest autographed bookstore?
Okay, so that
Well,
is a
I mean, ooh,
you're good. That I believe is the company I used to work with, Premier. And they exclusively sell autographed copies of books from all sorts of really cool authors. I have a few from them. And they're all signed, and then they work with a lot of them to do like special speaking events too.
wow.
So they just have like a huge stock, but every single book you receive is authentically signed. They don't use like type plates or anything. So that was a really fun company to work with because I got to work on some cool projects with like pretty famous authors for that for a while.
What's the most famous author you worked with?
Okay,
Not to put you on the spot.
no, you're good. I wrote the back cover for an autographed book by Israel's prime minister.
Really?
His
No,
name,
no.
yes, I believe so. I
I'm
know it.
pronouncing that wrong.
I have the copy. I have the name on there. I'm really bad with names.
Hey, me three. Don't worry. Sorry for putting you on the spot there.
No, you're good. That would probably be the most well known. They were releasing a special copy of his book, and I wrote the back cover.
That is really cool. Wow. Talk about leaving a legacy 150 years from now. Right? But that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You have Carried Away Travels and Media. Now I noticed your featured tip in Redfin. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what is Redfin?
Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to go because some of them are, or go check because some of them are blending together on me. If you can give me just a second.
No worries.
And
I know you like Alexandria. Yeah, you got the 11 things.
Mm-hmm.
11
Yes.
things.
Oh my goodness. Is that under my about me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I believe it is actually just like a housing website, but they wanted to share like with people coming into the area, just some different things they could do to kind of market the area as a whole. So obviously, yeah, I had the Alexandria guide, so people thinking about moving to Alexandria could see things that they might want to do, and it kind of helps just showcase the area, and add to like the curb appeal, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Your resume just keeps deeper and deeper. Deeper. That's a lot. There's a lot to keep up with. I mean, my goodness. And in fact, I'm looking at your your About Me. Your next one was a Rova magazine about the European beauty in the Southeast. Now, what is that referring to?
So during COVID, again, I was really itching to travel.
Word.
Yeah, but I couldn't. I really wanted to get out of the US and explore. But since we couldn't, I started looking for places closer to home that had like a European feel. So I was doing a lot of research and I ended up picking Charleston, South Carolina, and Helen, Georgia. So Charleston has a French Quarter and this very old world feel to a lot of it. And then Helen has it's Bavarian themed. And it turns out my husband grew up just like an hour and a half, 2 hours from there. He used to go to Helen as a kid all the time. So that was kind of a trip down memory lane for him. But we visited those places, and that was my first officially published travel article cool in a magazine. So I was very excited about that one. Yeah, so it was just the two places, but we visited a few since then too. So I might do a follow-up at some point on that.
That's awesome. Now, if I'm mommy asking, is your husband a Bulldog fan?
I don't think so. He's not really into sports.
Oh, good. I was about to say, let's pray.
No.
I'm just playing. I got a lot of. I'm a Florida Gator. I love Florida football, and I got friends that are Georgia Bulldogs, and we have fun with it back and forth. And you mentioned Helen, and that's another one of your videos. One of the many that I've seen, and there's many I have not yet. But I love Helen, Georgia. In fact, I'm the one who commented down there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Helen, Georgia, I just put out a video last night about Helen, Georgia on my channel. Okay. This is the 5th annual. I didn't know I was going to talk about this today, but the 5th annual Helen, Georgia meetup. I have meetups every year of fellow YouTubers.
I love that.
And that'd be great if y'all come. That'd be really cool. But it's always the second weekend of March. And what we do, we all meet for ice cream at 2:00 on Friday. There's a place called Das Eis. It's a German ice cream cafe, and they closed it down for my group, for Magnificent Germany with Darren group. And then everybody does their own thing. I don't schedule every second of the day on a meetup. Who wants to do that? Everybody does their own thing. And then next morning there's a group of us. We go get breakfast at Hoppers, and eat breakfast at one of my favorite breakfast places there early in the morning. And then the big thing is on Saturday evening, we have our dinner at 6:00 at the Hofbrau House right there. So that's the big shindig. Everybody comes. We had 101 people show up last year. And we have the microphones going, we have games going, and stuff like that. There's just a lot of fun. Fellow YouTubers, fellow subscribers come like crazy. Everybody gets to know each other, so you learn more people and everything. And another highlight, a big highlight on Sundays, matter of fact, we have a church by the river. We literally have a church service on the river. And we invite anybody who wants to come. There's people that come that to the channel that or to the other stuff that are believers. Some are not. But we have a church service, whoever wants to be there, and on the river. So I got a friend of mine who pastors a church in North Carolina. He comes down and he preaches, and then we have a full order of service. We have the hymns and the songs, praise and worship too, a mixture, and then we have a good old service right by the river, and it's usually freezing, but we're outside. We're doing it anyway. And but we do, and this is the fifth one already, the 5th annual that's coming up, and that's what I just put out yesterday. I put out I think it's an 8-minute video on about the events coming up in Helen. But,
I'll have to go check that out. I know we're traveling like right around that time because I remember you commenting on that video, and I was like, I don't know if we'll be there, but I'll check my schedule.
Okay, hey, if not this year, I hope to see it the 6th one because we plan to keep on going. So and if your husband's familiar, which I'm sure he is, going there, the Hellendorf Hotel resort right there, folks get a 10% discount if you tell them my channel name, because they come back all the time and say, hey, I got a group of people coming. Can you give a 10% discount? And I'm like, absolutely. So I tell everybody about that. So, but yeah, that's pretty. I had no idea I was going to talk about that. Surprise.
Yeah.
But Helen, Georgia, I love it because I go to Germany a lot, and it reminds me of Germany. I got history there too, as a kid, whatnot. My dad's gone now. He's with the Lord, has been for a long time. But our last family trip together was in Helen, Georgia, and he had his oxygen tank, and he goes, "We're going tubing." I said, "But Dad, we're going tubing." I'm like, "Okay." So he's got his oxygen tank. He said, "Well, let's go." And anyway, so a lot of memories there. All right, let's go to the next destination unknown. Now, tell us a little about that one.
Where I'm headed next?
Well, about your amazing road trip. The next
oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I forgot. I didn't realize you were still on that page.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So that was just a little.
We're improv here.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that was just like a tip, I believe I shared. So that was like another blogger was reaching out to a bunch of different other bloggers and getting their best tip for traveling. So I believe I shared like one paragraph in that. So nothing super impressive. I'm trying to find mine down on here too.
Well, I beg to differ because everything I've read and saw so far, pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, yeah. I mentioned to pack light, and I gave some tips on packing light. Okay. Man, I think that was from like 4 years ago. So really? Sorry for the little brain bubble there. Yeah, I had some tips on just like how to be like more efficient, because one of the things Daniel and I run into on road trips is we don't want to unpack our entire suitcase for one night in a hotel. So I mentioned packing individual outfits into a bag so you can just pull what you need for the night, like your PJs and the next day's clothes. And then when you change, you put the old clothes back in that bag, and then they don't smell up your bag either. And
that's right.
Leave your suitcase in there. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's pretty nifty. That's one of my sayings. That's pretty nifty. All right. Now let's go back to some of your travels. Now, like I said, we're going to zigzag a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to dive into your videos and whatnot coming up. But that picture you have on your page, I don't have it in front of me. But you're in Costa Rica and you're on a bridge. Mm-hmm. First of all, tell us about how you ended up in Costa Rica, and how high were you on that bridge?
Oh boy. So we ended up in Costa Rica. I think that was our first international trip after COVID. We were still fairly young newlyweds. My channel and my business was still picking up, and there was a really good deal on a trip to Costa Rica that included flights, hotels, and a car. I was like, let's do it. It looks like a lot of fun. And honestly, that has absolutely just stolen my heart for South and Central America. That is still one of my favorite trips ever. It is absolutely gorgeous. I recommend everyone go to Costa Rica at least once, because it is so beautiful and it's so affordable. The wildlife, the views, everything just top notch. The people, so kind. Loved it. It was the perfect first trip after not having been there. So that's how we ended up in Costa Rica. We were not even planning to go to those bridges, but I do a lot of research, but for that day I was like, okay, we could do this or this. And then I think we might've seen a sign for that. And I was like, oh, that looks fun. And
there's your sign.
Yeah. And that was the Mystico Hanging Bridges. It's, I believe it's like a private reserve. And they have a series of like 18, 19 different bridges. Not all of them are hanging, but a lot of them are, and they are way up there. I mean, they're swaying. You look down and you can hear water, but you can't see water because you're above the trees on a lot of them.
Wow, that's pretty neat now.
Yeah, so a little bit scary. I was definitely clutching my phone to make sure I didn't drop it, and I was holding on to those ropes pretty tight. But I mean, they put you way up there. You can see the mountains in the distance. Our day was a little foggy, but still so gorgeous. You're right up there with the birds and the monkeys and everything. It is a really cool experience.
Wow, that's all right. So I'll fit right in. You got the monkeys there.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. Have you ever been to Silver Springs, Florida?
I don't know that I have.
Yeah, when you said monkeys, because there's monkeys all over the place. You got the Silver River, glass bottom boats, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I live really close to there, so
okay.
But yeah, you'll see monkeys every once in a while right off the main highway. Once the blue moon, and you gotta being from here, I know where to look. But you might be driving along and you got a monkey looking at you going by.
That's so cool.
That is pretty cool. But yeah, I've never been to Costa Rica. I would love to go to a lot of these places that you've been, I haven't been to yet, and I would love to. Let's talk about Germany. Have you ever been to Germany, or what? Now you said you've been to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you ever hit Germany or any other European countries?
Not Germany yet. I know we need to. My father-in-law has been a lot, so he for work, so it gets talked about a lot. So I want to go. I want to go very bad, but haven't been yet. We have been to Spain, just for a long weekend, and then
España.
Yes, yeah, we hit Barcelona.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I really want to go back. There's so many European countries I want to hit, but I think those are the only two like mainland countries I've hit so far in Europe. We keep going back to South and Central America more frequently. So
right, I understand. You go where the wherever Lord directs you. It's pretty neat. I was born in Hawaii, and my dad was in the military at the time. I'm from Florida originally, but that's where he was stationed, and I'm their little pineapple, they said. Oh, never mind. But anyways, so they're well, that was weird. But I spent time in Germany, as a kid, and of course the military, and I got plenty of chances to go to Hawaii, but I keep going back to Germany because I enjoy it. I love it. It's I will have to tell you, there's a certain kind of specialty dessert that I love over there. Mm-hmm. And I'll be it's hard to be brief about the subject, but I'll try my best. It's called spaghetti ice.
Okay.
Not spaghetti ice, spaghetti ice. Okay. Now, ice is EIS, not ICE, but it translates to ice cream. We say ice cream, ICE cream, right? Mm-hmm. But their ice cream is ice, EIS. All right. So they got this thing called spaghetti ice. What it is, it's a plate or a bowl of ice cream that looks like a plate of spaghetti, but it's ice cream.
Okay.
They take this. I promise you, this wasn't part of the podcast here, but it will be just for a second. They take everything's fresh over there, right? There's no preservatives and nothing, right? Which I hope we get that way soon, very soon here, right? But anyway, so they put this fresh cream in there, and the cream is so fresh. Guess what it does? It moves. Oh. It's that fresh. You put the cream in the plate. Satire. Well, you put the cream in the plate. Okay, the fresh whipped cream. Mm-hmm. And they take vanilla ice cream, which has no preservatives, no additives, no nothing. Right? Not much sugar. Not even more than half the sugar is gone out of that ice cream. And then they put it through a little like a potato presser, and it looks like spaghetti coming out. Okay, there's your spaghetti, but we're not done. Do you like spaghetti sauce?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, all right, okay, all right. Well, you might like this one. That's the first one saying they didn't when they've been doing this. But okay, but spaghetti. They're not going to put spaghetti sauce on the ice cream, right? That's pretty yuck.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they do, they take fresh strawberries. Can you say fresh? Can you say fresh? Fresh strawberries. They put it in the same press. Then you got fresh strawberry juice that's coming out on top of this. And then we're not done. Now, do you like cheese?
I do. I love cheese.
I love cheese too, but they're not going to put cheese on ice cream. So they take white chocolate and they grate it on there. And that's your cheese. Now imagine all this together, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Then we're not done. Then garlic toast. Everybody got to have garlic toast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but they're not going to put garlic toast with your ice cream. All right. So what they do, they take a wafer, a vanilla wafer or chocolate wafer or chocolate on one side, vanilla on the side, or some plain white wafer, and they stick that bad boy in there. All right. Now, like I said, I had no idea I was going to do this. Pretend this is a spoon. I'm backtracking. This is all right. Now, the difference between regular ice cream and spaghetti ice, regular ice cream, you're like, that's good. This is spaghetti ice. When you take your first bite, your arm starts to shake. You got this goodness coming to you, and then you put it in your mouth and you go, and then it's good stuff. Anyways, that's my rendition of spaghetti ice. I don't know if you can see back there on my wall, right there under the Schweifert word. There's a picture of a guy and me with spaghetti ice. He's a inventor. He invented this ice cream on 6 April 1969, 55 years ago. I got to meet him a couple years ago in Germany, and he fixed my spaghetti ice for me.
That's so cool.
I talk about that a lot on my channel, spaghetti ice. But anyways, that's spaghetti ice. But let's get back to Carrie before I get carried away here. That was good. That was good. That's a t-shirt now. That's a t-shirt. All right. Now let's talk about your digital downloads.
Okay. So
what type of downloads do you have?
Right now I just have a couple. I created a 7-day or a week in Paris itinerary. So that's like an easy to reference, just download with pictures and captions and everything, just guiding you through, like, if you want to follow in my footsteps for 7 days, here's how I'd recommend you do it. And it does have some alternate options as well. Like if you don't like option A, here's option B. I have a packing guide as well. And then I have 2 guides that are like more of a travel journal, but also planning. So like how to plan the perfect vacation. And that's got like budget sheets and like planning out your itineraries. And then it's got little journaling things and places for pictures. So every day you can write down what you loved and something you want to remember. And also, as you're doing that, keep track of like how much money you're spending and things like that. And then I made an additional one just for travelers and travel bloggers, because I know I was always coming back from my trips and like, how much did I spend on this? Or wait, what did we do this day? And so like I'm referencing pictures and pulling out receipts. And so I wanted to create like an easy way for people to keep all that information together and not be pulling it from like 7 different sources after their trip too. So they're designed just to make your life easier before, during, and after your trip.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I saw parts of that. Now we're planning a trip. My wife, my kids, and a friend of mine and her daughter. We're going to go. Now I've been to Paris probably about 5 times. This will be the 6th time. But my daughter hasn't ever been. My wife has. No, yes, she has. My wife has with me a long time ago, before the kids. And anyway, so but it's been a while. And so I'm going to definitely reference your blog again, because we're going to do that later on this year, and looking forward to that. And when you are ready for Germany, now that's exactly what I do for Germany. I make itineraries for folks, and I don't charge anything. I've helped many people do it, and they say you don't charge nothing. I'm like, no, I really don't. I charge a smile, everything. Now, they might send me a Longhorn gift card or something. I certainly don't ask for it, but that's kind of neat. But I don't expect anything. And I started doing that during the C word days. You know, where I say C word.
Yeah.
From COVID.
Yeah.
And messed up my travels. And but anyways, I started it then, and it's been a blessing to meet people all around the world who never been to Germany, and I get to help them, and they get to I get to hear their stories when they get back. Some of them I take group trips, and I go and I actually take them on a group trip, different places, and it's just a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So we could itinerary together, and go from there, right?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. Now I'm going to go back to. I know I'm going to be respectful of your time here, but like I said, your videos. I've been on a Carrie binge. Okay. I've been carried away and traveling with Carrie. All right. So one of the latest one was 10 days ago, Off the Beaten Path near Borgenars. Did I say that right?
Borgenes. Yes.
Borgenes. Yeah, that place.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. That was in Iceland and all that stuff. Boy, now German names I could boom 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 boom. Some of them, not all of them. But Borgenars, or say it again.
Borgenes.
Borgenes. I have a problem with that, or saying that anyway. But let's talk about that video. Just a brief summary of that video. That was a things to do, right? Let me see. Yeah, it was things to do. What were, and just briefly, the 3 unique things to do?
Okay, well, now you're gonna make me do the tongue twisters.
So, all right. Maybe I'll film this.
Oh boy. So there's the settlement center, which is this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's this really cool spot, and they have 2 different exhibits, and they give you headphones, and they have audio guides in all different languages, and you go through these. They're more like long rooms. Some parts of it have like smaller rooms in your journey, but one of them tells the history of Iceland based off of a couple historic books they have. They're like thousands of years old. They've been very well preserved. And so they have like the names of the original settlers. They have these interactive maps showing like where the settlements were, just all this cool history. And then the other room tells their like most famous saga in a condensed form, and it's like this crazy tale with magic and battles, and there's a lot of murder, actually. There's a lot happening. It's kind of
I want to go there. No,
yeah. But it's very interesting, and they have all these really cool exhibits. They were very unique and quirky. So it really keeps your attention. So that's the first one. It's right there in Borgenes. Very cool. Probably takes hour and a half of your time. Then there's the Deal de Tungaver hot springs. And that is Europe's most powerful hot spring. I believe, if I remember correctly, it sends out like 180 liters of water per second, something like that. It's crazy. And it's just this huge wall of steam just coming out like crazy. And it's got all this colorful, vibrant moss. So they do have a fence, so you stay back a safe distance. But it was really neat just to be up close to that and then hear about how it like powers all these local towns and provides the hot water that everyone's using. And then my favorite is the Hraunfosser waterfalls. And it translates to lava falls. And it's this series of cascades just coming out of a lava field. So you can see at the top, it's like this brown and black gross lava. And then all this water's coming down. And yeah, to me, it looked like something out of a fairy tale, even in winter, because that water gets so blue from the silica in the water. And it's just vibrant. Like I had never seen water that color. It was almost like a Caribbean blue, but icy. And so that was just absolutely gorgeous. That was free. The walking path was so easy. Like you didn't need a hike to go see the waterfall. So that was probably one of my top 3 spots on our entire trip. It was just so magical. And we wanted to spend more time there, just soaking it all in. It was absolute perfection.
That's awesome. I like how you said in the video in the museum where, you're in this beautiful place and I'm not sure about this museum because I want to be outside, but at the same time you enjoy the museum, so that says a lot too. I mean, especially all those artifacts in there, without the logs, I guess, of the original settlers
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. Wow, yeah. Well, I will have to say you have a knack for making a place look good, because like I said, my wife and I we definitely want to go there. Then you had the best travel products. That's the one. Was the best travel products and brands 2024. I saw that one. And then of course in Myrtle Beach, fun, unique, and that's the one with the luau and everything. I saw you have to do it. Now, how'd you get up on stage? How'd you do that? Did they pick you?
Yeah, they just came through, and I think they picked like 15 to 20 people per time, and like you could say no if you wanted to, but I was like, you know what, we're here.
I would be like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah. So we had fun with it. They were so nice. Like I enjoyed that show so much, but everyone was so just patient and kind. I loved the whole staff there. They were great. So
that's awesome. Well, Carrie, you have so many videos here, and I appreciate you being here. And I can't wait. There's so many videos that I need to catch up on, and a lot of your blogs, your short stories, and all the above. I can't wait to dive into it further. But folks out there, make sure you go see Carrie. Okay, from Carried Away Travels. She really caught my attention when especially talk about travel and whatnot. I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling through my phone right now, folks. She's got videos. 5 popular no hike waterfalls visits in Iceland. What? Who thinks of these things? 10 innovative beach essentials for your next summer vacation. Exploring Dublin, right? So Dublin, I went to Dublin first time in June, right? How did you like Dublin?
I loved it. Once again, I am more of like an outdoor person than a city girl, but I went with my
well, I'm definitely not a city girl, but yeah, I'm an outdoor person.
yeah. I went with my favorite travel buddy, and we had an absolute blast. It was so cool.
That's wonderful. Well, Carrie, before we close, is there anything that you like to tell everybody? Tell somebody about your channel. Whatever you want to do in closing, the floor is yours. Not to put you on the spot, but here's lights.
Yeah. I guess I would just say my biggest goal is just to help make traveling easier for everybody based off of my experiences. So my videos are intended just to make sure you're fully prepared. But if there's ever something you have questions about, I'm always available in the chat or the DMs as well. If I've been there and I feel like I can give helpful advice in any way, I'd love to help make anyone's vacation easier, whether it's an itinerary or picking out travel gear or whatever. That's what I'm here for. That's what I love. So
that's all. And I could tell. I could tell. Now, in closing, I'm going to ask you to help me say goodbye. Now, usually in my videos, I say something at the end. I say Dankeschön, tschüss. Okay. Or you can say Dankeschön und tschüss.
Dankeschön und tschüss.
Yes. Wow. Have you been practicing? Because that's pretty good.
I know.
All right. So I'm gonna count to 3, and before I do that, like I said, whenever you're ready to go to Germany, you let me know. I'll set you up with an itinerary that you will be. Little disclaimer: you'll be booking another flight because, and I can't wait to dive into yours more. But you just let me know, okay?
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely, I appreciate you being here. I really do. All right, let's count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Dankeschön und tschüss. Very good, Carrie. Thanks a lot, guys. Guys, subscribe to Carried Away Travels right here on YouTube TV. Oh, I always want to say that. YouTube, right here on YouTube. Carried Away Travels. Tschüssies. Woo!